Welcome to 25 and Broke, where I teach you how to stop being broke financially, socially, physically, and spiritually so that you can stop being a wuss and start being a winner.
Today we're talking about she did not look like her photo. She didn't look like her photo. Man, has this ever happened to you? Have you ever met someone online? Or I should say, have you ever met someone in person who didn't look the same as they did online? Right? They're posting that picture of that look where they're like, we'll use a girl as an example, right? That smoking hot, beautiful girl who has all those headshot photos, right? You know the ones. Headshot photos only is a warning sign. That's a red flag, by the way. But they see beautiful faces, right? Headshot photos, and then you meet them in person, and you now know why they wouldn't show below the neck. Let's just say they have a lot more going on below the neck. Obesity. Yeah, that's the word that comes to mind. Not that I've met anyone like this. Or you get the photos online where they look very attractive, full body shot. You're like, wow, okay, cool. Very respectable. It's a girl. Or, maybe you're meeting a business person, right? I've seen guys do this, right? They're all decked out in their suit, athletic, looking good, handsome guys, whatever. And then they show up, and I meet them in person, and the picture was like from, 20 years ago. And the guy shows up, and he's like this old, out of shape, obese guy who's just sloppy dressed. And who the heck was the guy in the photo? Because it's definitely not you, bro. That kind of ticks me off in some ways. Listen. If you want to represent yourself a certain way, successful, confident, fit, athletic, beautiful, attractive, handsome, rugged, whatever, then do the work to become that person. Don't post a lie, right? Why? You're not going to fool anyone. You're going to disappoint people. It's not going to go anywhere. Now we know you were lying to us. Who wants to work with you or date you or do anything like that? Don't be that person. That's what I'm saying there. So anyway, I'm guessing you met girls, right, that have done this. They look different in person than online than their pictures. So quick little story here. A friend of mine who shall remain nameless, back in the day, this was right before I was going to Arizona. I was moving to Arizona, and I knew I was headed out there, and I told him I was headed out there, and he was telling me about this girl that he met online, and, he's just like fallen in love with her in literally 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That should be a red flag, right? 2 weeks. You're in love already? Seriously, bro? Plus it's online? What do you mean you haven't met her in person yet? How do you know? Well, she lives out in Arizona, so I haven't met her yet. But, man, I'm really excited. I'm going to plan a trip and go out there. Okay, cool. Well, just so you know, I'm headed out there. So do you want me to, meet up with her and tell you what she looks like or, what type of person she is? You would do that for me? Yeah, bro, no problem. I'm headed in that direction. Literally the same city. She was in Scottsdale. I was in Scottsdale, or headed to Scottsdale. So it made sense, and he was a good friend at the time, and so we set it up, and he told her I was coming, and I actually, arranged it. I said, listen, I'm headed out there. I really don't know anybody, so does she know anybody who would have like an extra room or whatever until I get situated and kind of, figure out the area? I'd rather know somebody than nobody. So he was friends with her, so it made sense from my perspective to do that. And she said, absolutely, yeah, send him out, and I have an extra room. He could stay with me here, for a few weeks or whatever until he gets situated. Totally cool. If he's your friend, no problem. So, win-win situation. So there I go. I get in the car, I pack up all my stuff, and, I'm moving out there, so I'm driving. And I drive cross country, and I'll just speed up the story here. Fast forward, I knock on the door, I get to her address, knock on the door, no answer. Finally, I'm about to leave, and I hear a voice above me calling down saying, "Are you Joseph?" I look up, and I literally did a double take, like, ah! And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Oh, I'm so-and-so." And I said, "Really?" You know where I'm headed with this story, right? And she goes, "Oh, yes, I'm so-and-so." She's like, I'll be right down. And she's all excited and everything. Bros, Bold Nation, listen. I'm looking up at this balcony with this 350-pound woman on it. Young girl, right? She's like 20-something, right? 350 pounds, I'm guessing here. Literally like, whoa. And I'm like, this cannot be the girl that my buddy's like madly in love and infatuated with, because he showed me a picture of her and she was like the smoking hot model. Blonde, blue-eyed, gorgeous. I was like, damn, this girl looks good. And now I'm seeing her in person, and sure enough, right in that moment, door opens up. There she is. She's like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. Come on in." I gotta tell you, everything inside of me said, don't go in, leave now. Because who the heck is this girl? Why does she not look like her picture? She didn't, and when I say it didn't look like a picture, I didn't mean, it wasn't even the same girl in the picture, right? Different face altogether. And so I was a little, like, shocked and bewildered, and I kind of needed some answers to tell my buddy, so I went in. And, I walk into the place, and the place is a mess. Her apartment's a mess. It's like this, like, ratty, dirty, nasty place. And, like, this cat comes running out, then another cat, like, running through my legs and doing that purr thing right up on your leg when you're like, I didn't invite you to touch my leg, animal, right? And the cat's doing this thing, and I'm trying to be polite, and she's like, "Oh, this is so-and-so, this is Fluffy, and this is Curly, and Mo, and Larry, and all this stuff," right? She's got, like, cats everywhere. And filth. She was like this crazy cat woman, and she was, like, in her early 20s. And then she's like, "Well, listen, let me show you to your room, and this is where you can stay." And I walk into the room. Bros, listen, there was nowhere to stay, okay? It was like a hole within the middle of the floor, like, of clutter. It was like a rat maze. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I am not staying here. I need to run. Fight or flight. And, I took a minute. She's like, "Here's the kitchen." She showed me around, giving me the grand tour of her rat cage. And the kitchen, I remember, I was so mortified, right? I walk into the kitchen, and her 350-pound panties, underwear, are hanging on the faucet for the kitchen sink. And I literally went, like, grossed out beyond belief. And I was like, I'm out, man. I'm going to find a hotel somewhere, whatever, and just get out of here. And I said, "Can I ask you a question?" And she goes, "Oh, of course, sure." I said, "You don't look anything like your picture. Why?" And she goes, "Oh, well, of course I don't." I was like, "What do you mean, of course you don't?" I was like, "My buddy thinks you are that girl that you sent him like 10 different pictures of you." And she goes, "Oh, no, that's not me. Of course not. He really thinks that?" And I was like, "Yeah, he really thinks that." And she goes, "No, I mean, that's just dumb. Like, why would he think that? I just grabbed photos of, like, some random model or whatever online, and I just posted them in my whatever, and then emailed them to him, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, I don't get that. Why would you lie? Why wouldn't you just show who you really are?" And she goes, "Well, it's not my fault. It's his fault." I'm like, "How's it his fault?" She's like, "Because everybody lies online. Like, if he believed that, duh, shame on him." And I was just so disgusted. Like, who the bleep are you to, like, mess with people like that? And to be like this person who just doesn't take care of herself, doesn't take care of her place, obviously doesn't feel good about herself to even care, to live in cleanliness and to be fit and do what it takes, put in the work and become the best version of herself. And here she is, this like sloppy human being, like tricking people and lying to guys online, and my buddy, and he's literally like, he was in love with this girl. When I say in love, I mean he was like, I think she's the one, and all this crap within 2 weeks. And I didn't have the heart to tell him this. I gotta tell you, I didn't have the heart to tell him. But I had to. It's the right thing to do. That's what bros do for each other. So I came up with excuses, and I said, you know, I was kind of a wuss back then, so I didn't just come straight out and say, listen, I want nothing to do with you. I'm not staying here. You lied to him. You're a slob. Yeah, good luck. Take care. I didn't say that. I was too much of a wuss back then. So I said, well, I'm really hungry, so where's a great place to eat? And, you know, I'll see you after, you know, I'll come back after. And, well, you know, I could show you and I could go with you. And she'd say, no, I'm good. You know, just tell me what's the best place around here. I just need some quick food. And she'd, just go to here. Oh yeah, see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm so excited. And I, boom, closed the door and I like freaking peeled out my tires and I was out. Gone. And I called my friend. I was like, bro, I got to tell you, man, that girl that you're in love with, that's not her. And he's like, what do you mean that's not her? And I was like, bro, it's not her. She sent you the wrong pictures. And he's like, no, she didn't do that. What are you talking about? I was like, bro, she's 350 pounds, man. And it wasn't even her face. Totally different girl. Totally jacked up. I'm not staying there. She lives in like with cats and filth, and her panties were on the sink. And bro, sorry, man, that sucks, but that's what happened. And he just would not believe me, man. It was ridiculous. He had this thing in his head where he had invested so much into this relationship, this false relationship, and made plans, and he was like buying plane tickets and stuff, that he could not let go and believe that his friend, who he had known for years, was telling him the truth, and that this girl was lying to him. And I remember for a little bit, he kind of like disowned me because he thought I was trying to like get her, and I wanted her for myself. So I was making up this whole story because I was out there and I wanted to date her. What? Don't even get it. Anyway, the message, the lesson here today, Bold Nation, is don't believe what people say. You know, especially online. Don't believe the pictures they show online. Believe what people do. Believe who they are when you meet them. Believe who they are by their actions, not by their words. So that's the lesson for today. I hope that helps add value. Don't be a sucker that way, you know, and fall for like that like my buddy did. Anyway, I am Joseph Warren, and you were made for greatness. So stop being a wuss and start being a winner. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.